All right. Welcome to the MWG Podcast. That's Mossta, Westsidious, and MWG, aka Whispering Tears. Today we have an exciting event today. It's podcast number 4, but more importantly, we're going to have our first guest. If you like to stay hydrated, this is your guy, the premier Pikachu in the Valley, FOODICORN.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Wait, hold on. Don't you mean
good?
What up? Wait, hold on. Before we, don't you mean Pichu, right?
Yeah,
Pichu.
You said,
Yo, yeah. No, Foodie was like, yo, hey, same character, right?
Oh man, all right, I gotta get back to the research.
Close enough. It's okay.
No, it's funny. I think it's funny.
It is.
All right. Okay, well, we're starting off on a perfect foot right here.
Yeah, perfect.
So you switched up mains, huh, Foodie?
I added a second main, I guess.
Yo, the Pikachu a tandem.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna be
if
I'm gonna be half broken, I might as well go full broken, full busted.
The loops on deck.
Oh man.
So let's jump into it, yeah?
Yeah. So before we get started, and we've introduced FOODICORN, so now we're going to go over our gamer tags and the origins of all of our gamer tags. So Foodie, you can go ahead and start off.
My gamer tag, I've had it for a while now. This is a question I get a lot. So around my 8th grade year of middle school, basically I had an old gamer tag that had to do with Minecraft, because I mean you're young. I made the tag in like 4th grade. It was MCPE Noob 101. There's actually a really old YouTube channel where I posted really cringy videos of myself on there.
Oh, yo.
But, I got older and I was like, okay, this is real. Like, I recognize this is really cringy. I need to change my tag. And I had some dumb, ironic joke that I can't remember with my friends at the time that I liked unicorns. And so one day, I mean, you're going through middle school, you're going through growth spurts and everything, you're eating a lot of food. And so I made some dumb joke about, I love food, I'm a FOODICORN. And then for some reason, it was funny to us, I guess. And then it became my Instagram name, and just kind of it flooded over into PlayStation. Now I'm here. I play every video game with it.
That's great.
That's an awesome origin, dude. I'm actually jealous. That's sick. I like that.
Man, sometimes you just find a name that fits.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
one.
good. I like that. That's good.
But where's that YouTube channel, man? What's the link?
Oh man, you'll look it up, and I guarantee you it will pop up the videos, because I think some of them did get some views, unfortunately.
Yo, no, I'm
might
trying
just
to
get a
watch
lot
those.
more.
Oh, we're gonna blow it. We're gonna blow it up, son.
Oh, that'd be crazy. That
Let's go
shit is
viral.
so cringy. I've never talked about that, not even on my stream.
I like that. I'm glad you shared it with us. That's actually really
Yeah.
funny. I have a
Yeah.
bunch, dude. Don't worry, dude, because I think pretty sure I have a bunch of cringy YouTube videos that are out there too. So it's all good, man. That's a lot of us.
It's. I guess so in this day and age.
When you're young, it's given. You're gonna be cringy.
Yeah, we're all gonna do stuff like that. So. Naj, so I'm curious. I didn't realize this till now. I'm curious about your name. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
So let's see. This was back in high school. I think 9th grade. We were all hanging out at lunch one time, and we were talking about the different games we play. Some of the dudes were playing CS. I was playing Dota back then. And back then you had to call it Warcraft 3 because nobody knew what Dota was or MOBAs or anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's OG.
So we were talking about how the dudes with the most emo-ass names would be the ones carrying the games and just destroying everybody. So we're like, all right, we need our own emo name so people, fear us.
Yo.
So I came up with Whispering Tears. I thought that's the saddest thing I could think of. And I just liked the way it sounded, and I stuck with it.
That's tight. I like that.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. Wait, hold on. So can you back up that statement? Are people with emo names hella good? Just in general, I guess?
I'm hella good, so I guess it's true.
Yeah, you're right. Does anyone have an
No.
emo name? Does anyone have an emo name at Fully Charged? I'm trying to think. I have an emo name.
I don't
This
think
is when
so.
emo just came out too. Everybody had just heard about it.
Emo. I didn't know that it was short for emotional for the longest time. I was like, what is
Oh
that?
man.
I had no idea.
So, how did you come up with your gamer tag?
You talking to me?
Yeah, Westsidious.
Westsidious. Man, I wish I had a cool ass story like you guys. I actually don't have a cool story at all. Like growing up, I played games my entire life, and growing up, I had friends, but they're mostly acquaintances, so I didn't really have close friends. I had friends that played games, but I never really was part of a community. But I did play games like for my entire life, and I never had a tag, and I was so envious of everyone who had this cool story behind their name. You know what I mean? And sometimes, there are a whole bunch of different reasons. So people will name themselves, or they'll get it from, or they'll get it from their group of friends, etc., or some anime they like, or some show they like, or some cartoon, whatever, you name it. But for me, I just remember that I needed a tag for. Yeah, I just needed a tag, right? I needed an alias. I never had one, and I've been through so many, right? I think at one point, so I needed a league name, so I was Sneaky Flip Kid on League, and that's why my name is that on Valorant. Naj, that's why my name is Sneaky Flip Kid. I would literally never use that ever, but that was my old Riot account, and I thought it'd be funny if I was like, yo, it'd be tilting if they lost to Sneaky Flip Kid, so I gotta keep that. And then so I had that, but it wasn't good enough for me. But I think in 2013, I just decided, okay, just need a name. I'm just come up with it myself. I don't care. So it's a compound word actually. So West comes from Teddy Westside from I really like the show How I Met Your Mother. Yeah. Yeah. I love How I Met Your Mother a lot.
Teddy West.
Teddy Westside. You remember that, Mus?
Yep.
It's hella funny. You're gonna Ted be like, yo, Teddy Westside, let's get it. And I really like that show, but then I didn't want to be I didn't want to just jack that name from Ted. So I was like, okay. So I wanted to like turn the West Side into a compound kind of deal. And Sidious is from Star Wars, if you guys haven't kind of come to that conclusion, but that's from Star Wars. So I just smashed it together, and it's Westsidious, and that's where my name comes from. And ever since then, I've just been entering it to everything. Steam, on Apex, on fighting games, you name it, Westsidious. And then it's cool having a compound name for your gamer tag, because you can just change out the first word or the second word, and just like whatever meme is happening right now or whatever's funny surrounding you just like throw in, right? Throw Sidious, you know what I mean? Or win Sidious, it could be anything. So
nice.
Yeah, dude, that's my name.
So then, Moss, where did you get? Well, let's hear the origin of your gamer tag.
All right, so the origin. So back in 2007, I want to say, that's when Diamond and Pearl were coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all of my friends, like I was the Pokemon guy. So like I got into EV training and IV hatching and all that stuff, all the breeding, all that type matchups. I was like Pokemon encyclopedia for a little bit. And I have a very common first name. So Jonathan and John, a whole hell of a lot of them out here, like a lot of them that we hung out with. So everybody called me by my last name anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Pokemon Master, Mossta, I was like, oh, let's, my friends kind of said Mossta anyway. So I was like, oh, I'll take my last name, add the TA to it, and bam, Mossta.
That's tight. I like
the Pokemon,
So I didn't know I didn't know for the longest time that's why we called you, because I knew your first name was Jonathan. I just never realized why. That makes sense though. I can see that.
Yeah, there was a lot of Johns at West when I was going there, like especially within the group of people that we hung out with. So I was just like,
right.
Yeah, we're calling you by your last name.
Right. Works out.
So and it just kind of stuck, being a Pokemon guy and being a Pokemon master.
I believe it, dude.
Dude, I spent so many hours on the EV training in Diamond and Pearl. It was crazy.
Man, I remember you doing it on paper, dude. You remember that, dude? I would do it on paper, bro. Like I would count the EVs. I remember I don't remember what I had, but I would be in English class at West, and like we were doing something, just some trivial assignment. I was just sitting there like trying to play my DS low key, dude. And I would just every time I killed what 4? Was it 4 mobs? I'd be like, all right, that's one, and then I do it for like an hour. It was classic.
Oh my gosh.
No, and I think around Diamond Pearl, that's when I got like super heavy into Pokemon as well, and I was more into the shiny hunting. That was always my thing.
Oh,
So wasn't that like your first Pokemon game?
What'd you say?
So isn't that like your first Pokemon game?
My first Pokemon game actually was Ruby.
Oh,
as
classic.
like a really little kid. Like I don't even remember understanding what was going on in the game.
It's a kid, dude. You just only 4 options. That's all you need.
Yeah. And you always chose the attacks that sounded the coolest, not the ones that didn't do damage.
Yeah. Shout outs to Hyper Beam, by the way. That shit sucks. I don't care what anybody says. That movie's fucking garbage. Oh, I didn't keep it PG, but that's how strongly I feel about that move. Oh my goodness. Yo, Hyper Beam, every time I use it, it was so underwhelming, and it's probably because my stats are awful. So
It's broken in Gen 1 though.
yeah, I bet. But I think when I was using it, it was so trivial. It made me sad.
In Gen 1, if you KO a Pokemon with it, you don't have to recharge. So it's pretty broken.
Oh, that sounds ridiculous. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, so do you guys want to move on to our next topic, the Min Min release?
Yeah, dude. So how do you guys feel about Min Min?
I love her. I already said that if I can get good enough with her and if I have enough fun with her, which right now I am, then I will officially start calling Pichu and Sheik my mains and start calling Min Min my secondary.
Okay, I like that.
Wait, you're playing Sheik?
Oh yeah, I've been playing Sheik for a while. I've had like months of practice on her now.
All right.
Okay, the combo video?
Yeah. How'd you feel about the one move buff that they gave her?
You know what? That one buff, that meant a lot to me because personally, I think that was the last thing they needed to fix for her because you would F smash like K. Rool or Wario, and especially if they were jumping in and landing on top of it, they would just fall out after the first hit. So,
Right.
So this definitely helped a lot.
K. Rool needs all the buffs, man.
You saw that? Yo, K-Rool?
I think the funny one going around is all of Stockton got buffed.
Oh no.
All of Stockton.
So Falcon,
Kirby, DDD.
Squinty plays DDD, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Meryl.
Oh, classic. Oh no.
And then Oni's got the pits.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. Oh my
Um,
goodness.
Both Pith got the same buffs too.
Yo, Stockton's having a field day.
They are.
My goodness.
We're going to have to have the official playthrough is going to be on 7.0 from now on.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that's good though. I'm glad. It's just characters getting buffed in general is good. I like buff culture a lot. So
Honestly, the way I see it is Pichu didn't get nerfed again. I'm happy. I'm living.
that's good. You live in.
I survived another patch.
He did survive another patch. All hail Sakurai.
Oh man.
So with Min Min, that's gonna be annoying to fight in tournament, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's oh my goodness. If your opponent is very good at keeping you out and just zoning you, I mean, yeah, you could just if she throws out a normal, you could just jump over it. Yeah, whatever. A good player is not gonna let you jump for free, right? So they'll probably hesitate on you, and then they're gonna jump, and then they'll jump too, challenge you. Boom. She's coming back from stage. Oh my goodness, she's coming back from stage, and she can challenge you. You get hit, she's still coming back. That's wild, dude. And like from how far she goes down, and she can still come back. That's impressive. To me, I've seen so many GIMP clips. I've seen GIMP clips. I've been GIMPed too yesterday.
Yeah.
I was getting GIMPed by Moss. I was getting GIMPed. I was like, not like this. Don't do me like this, dude. And yeah, Foodie, you seen those on Twitter? Some of those GIMPs are wild.
Yeah, and I mean the same for me too, dude. I feel like all what was happening yesterday. I feel like most of my kills I was getting as Min Min, or even dying as Min Min, were gimps. I felt like that's what they all were.
Yeah, you definitely for what I've seen, you definitely have to control the drift when you're off stage and be wise about when you air dodge, what angle you decide to come back. Because if you come back and you're more or less horizontal to the stage, guess what? There's gonna be an F smash, and then the little dragon comes out, and you're like, huh,
The laser.
I'm dead at 50%.
Dude, the laser is ridiculous.
That's so cheesy. I love it. It's funny.
So a lot of people actually don't notice that that laser, it works on F smash, but it also works on forward air and back air as well. You can use it in both instances. So if you do it with the B button or the A button, not when you use the C stick though. When you use the C stick, it's just a normal aerial. But when you use A and you almost kind of like charge it like a smash attack in the air, then you can in fact charge it up and get the laser out.
Okay, that's cool. I did not know that.
So she has a lot of horizontal range. But I guess my thing with her is she's not exactly the fastest, and her arms, they're not really fast, but they're not entirely slow. But the problem is that they're out for a long amount of time compared to a normal move. So there's a lot of time, like if she throws both her arms out, she's basically vulnerable. She can't do anything. So at that point, if you just rush in on her as like, I think any fast, nimble or small character, I think those are going to be the best against her.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have a huge problem with rush on characters.
100%.
Yeah, it's gonna be very. Oh, what's up, Moss?
I was getting yesterday when we were playing, and I was getting rushed on. It was like I don't know how to
stop
address.
This. Yeah.
And then her horizontal recovery is not very good either. So when she gets knocked off stage, she has trouble getting back on.
Yeah,
and her air dodge practically goes nowhere.
It's definitely gonna be dependent on learning the matchup. That's the case for pretty much all the characters in Ultimate. But like I said before, it's definitely gonna be she's gonna be very dependent on just whoever's controlling her, basically the player. And if they know how to zone you out, if they just know how to keep you away, it's gonna be a problem. And you don't know the matchup, it will be a problem. But
I just want you guys to know the scariest person coming to fully charge next when those tournaments come back is going to be Raccoon, because yesterday he took to that character like it was already his main.
I can only imagine.
I can see it, dude.
And I mean, because he's already one to be really good at holding stage control, and her whole thing is holding stage control. So when he gets you off the stage, I felt like I was dead every single time. I didn't think I would make it back.
That is a tragedy.
I can't wait to see it.
So if you're getting
excited for FOODICORN to come back,
well, that's up to the governor.
So wait,
I'm not in no rush. I'm just saying I'm excited for when it comes back.
Same. Yeah. I am too. If you're coming back from stage and Minmin's at half stage, she's like half screen away and you're coming back, if you just do regular get up and she does forward smash to challenge you, it killed me a couple of times. If you time it right, you won't get hit, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I think when the arm, after the hitbox comes out and it's retracting and it's on its way back, there's no hitbox. And so while that animation is out, you can just get up freely. So normally what you want to do is after you grab the ledge, let the min throw out their arms, because normally they throw out two to try to catch your whatever option you choose after the first one.
Right.
And so you wait out both arms, and then afterwards you can neutral get up, you can jump, you can practically do whatever.
Okay.
Just don't put yourself at a ways, don't put yourself a distance away from her, like a far distance. You want to jump from the ledge and you want to rush her down as quick as possible.
Right. So if you're coming, let's say you get the neutral get up off, right? Let's say you come back to the ledge, you get neutral get up off, and let's say she hesitates for a little bit, and let's say she throws out the F smash, and you have time to shield it. Can you punish her in any way after you shield it from half screen away?
From half screen away,
yeah, if she's like max distance.
Okay, I would say from max distance, no.
Classic.
Because if there's one arm, you got to remember she can consecutively throw them out. So if she throws out one arm, she can throw out the other one literally right after. almost like rapidly. So more than half the time. So like I think the best one though to shield always the dragon. If you shield the dragon, the laser will never come out.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's actually good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know.
That is good to know.
I did like how she can delay the two arms going out, because that throws people off, because sometimes you just don't do it.
Yeah,
Moss
it's
was
a
getting
really
me.
good mix-up. Being able to throw out one or both of them, it's a huge mix-up.
Yeah.
Against a good player, you definitely have to stay on your toes, because they'll essentially throw one arm, and then if they hesitate on you, they're just gonna catch you jumping, and it's yikes.
Yeah.
Yep, and she can throw the other arm behind her. So if you try to cross her up, you can get hit by that one.
That's funny. I like that she has the ability to do that too. It's hilarious. Yeah. Well, the reason why I asked that is because I just thought it was funny, because Mega Man could do that too. I mean, basically, if you're doing neutral get up and Mega Man times it right, you just get blasted. But if he's a tad bit late, if you could do neutral get up, you'll just shield it. But then he essentially did a forward smash from like mid screen away for free, and then he doesn't get punished for it. That's what that kind of reminded me of.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that really annoys me about her though is most characters can grab out of shield pretty reliably. She can't. She can't. Her grab is too slow.
Okay.
Way too slow.
Yep. I
Duly
noticed that too
noted.
yesterday while playing her.
Yeah, I
The grab
definitely.
doesn't seem very reliable.
I think the one thing that frustrated me about her reveal was a lot of people acted like she was gonna be really busted, and I was saying like, no, there's no way that they are gonna just release a character that is just insanely busted, because they haven't done that. Like even Joker, a lot of people were really upset about him, but I mean, he wasn't busted. Like he definitely had losing matchups, and it was possible to beat him. He was just a little extra frustrating than other characters.
Right. And Arsene was definitely oppressive, probably at a higher level, but I don't think it was. I mean, at like a mid, at like a kind of like the mid tier level, you definitely room for outplay. So
100%. Yeah. I think she's the most unique of all the DLC that have been released, though.
That's a good thing.
Someone argued with me that Terry was as well, but I mean, Terry takes from Ken and Ryu with the special cancel. The only thing he really introduced was the backward special and go.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which are both still really interesting and new.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sakurai captured it perfectly. It feels like you're playing ARMS. You got to push one punch, then the second punch, and then back up, and being able to move with the tilts.
And not only that, but I mean, after using the same moves over and over and over and over again, I mean, I kind of started to get just a tiny bit bored of it, just like I did ARMS.
That's funny. Wait, I played the demo. Do you have the game, Foodie?
Yeah, I do own ARMS, and when it first came out, it was one of my favorite games. And then after, I want to say 3 months, I was like, I can't play this anymore. It's making me sick.
3 months, that's a long time.
Yo, who was godlike in that game? I played the ninja dude. I like the ninja guy a lot.
So on release of so I was happy for Min Min in Smash, because Min Min on release of ARMS was my character, and I fell in love with her. And come to find out, she ended up becoming basically one of the best characters.
Right.
Because her whole thing in ARMS is if you get a grab, or if you fully, because you can charge in that game to make your arms have elemental powers, basically, like fire, ice, and stuff. If you fully charged, or if you grabbed someone, her left arm or her right arm would become a dragon, and it would constantly have that charge. It would never run out until you knocked her down. So it was kind of disgusting, and a lot of people were like, yeah, this is dumb. You just put like a really good arm on that one, and then a strong one on her normal arm, and then you're set. Like, you won every game.
Yeah, there was definitely some cheese in that game. I had fun, but I can't imagine playing it long term. I did have fun in the very short time I played it. There were definitely some gimmicks. I think I liked the Slap-O-Mander hand. I don't know the meta for that game.
A lot of people liked that one. It was
Slap
glove.
Slap was sick. Dang, that's all I
liked my favorite was is forever and always going to be the revolver. It sends out 3 little bullets on a line, and the one that I would use had the lightning. And so if you hit someone with a lightning arm, both their arms would get disabled, so they practically can't do anything. Like it's really, really dumb.
Yeah, there's some cheesy stuff in that game. Good times.
Yeah, it's fun to play with people in real life for a little while though.
Right. So, so with that being said, let's so what's our next? All right, so let's get into the main topic, dude. Let's get into our subject here, our interviewee. We're excited to have you here. We got some questions, Foodie.
All right.
I think before we get into the questions, though, let's let Foodie just introduce himself a little bit.
Yeah, tell us a bit about you.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, let's hear it.
Hi, I'm FOODICORN. I drink water.
He does.
Yeah, I was hoping this would be like an AA meeting. Everyone says, "Hi, FOODICORN."
My bad. Let's start that over.
It's an AA meeting. I'm done.
No, but I don't know. I'm a streamer and smasher, I guess, and trying to be a Valorant player.
Oh, well, make sure you plug the stream, man. Let them know.
Let them know.
Best Smash arenas at twitch.tv/FOODICORN.
Let's go, dude. Hey guys, check out the stream. It's some fire. There's some good competition from the NorCal area, from the Valley area in particular. SenCal. It's SenCal, right?
SenCal.
Yeah. The SenCal area. You got some hard hitters. Hit up the stream. Hit up the games.
It's funny because I don't know anyone outside of the Smash community that is even in our region that calls it SenCal. No one calls it SenCal. I tell people SenCal and they say, what? Where?
Exactly. I didn't even know that it was called SenCal, and so I started playing it fully charged. People were saying SenCal, and I was like, where the hell is that?
Same here. Exact same thing.
I've never heard it until this either. It's always just been like the Central Valley.
But you know what that means? You know what that means, though, is we just need to get established. I mean, you never know. I mean, even if we don't end up calling it SenCal and just miraculously gets a nickname on its own, I guess we'll have to stick with that. But until then, I think establishing a scene, just establishing that we're here, is a good thing.
I mean, it's nice to know that, like, more recently, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember what NorCal player it was. They kind of like recognized us and they said SenCal on Twitter, and I was like, wait, okay, now we're being recognized as a legitimate, like, actual region. But they were talking trash about us. They were calling us trash, so it wasn't.
Well, that's not fair because we're like probably the largest or most spread out region. NorCal has the Bay Area. SoCal has Los Angeles. We have, I think, Stockton all the way down to Bakersfield. Like, there's no way to easily combine us all.
It's hills, it's mountains, it's the valley. There's cows everywhere. Like, it's just, we're all so separated. So
my thing is, I think if we had more locals to go to around the area, I think we would have we could have our own PR, and then from there we'd be considered our own region.
And there's talent out here, man.
Yeah,
they need to be recognized.
Like, I mean, off the top of my head, I can name like several. I can name Infamous, Vision, Striker, Jumps, Fear, Wuggles, Meryl. I mean, like, these, like, I mean, you got some like really good players out here. Wobby, Squinty. I mean, it's just kind of it's insane. Because then these same people, I mean, Squinty, I'm pretty sure he went to Gamers Rebooted over in SAC with I can't remember. I think it was Zeke and he did doubles with, and they made it extremely far. Like, I think it was farther than anyone even expected them to go. It was kind of crazy, but it's nice to know that even though people will think down of us, we can go toe to toe with them at their tournaments.
And that's good. You know, the more often that our players show up, you know, hopefully they rep well and they put us on the map. And yeah, being recognized would be great. You know, even if it's just them talking trash. Hey man, if we were really garbage, they wouldn't be talking trash at all. They wouldn't even know. Like, they would literally be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah. So it's good to be noticed at all. It means that we're doing something.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if that's being bad.
Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. We're not bad. We just have a hard time.
We just have a slight learning curve, all right?
Yeah. So, before we get into the interview, we'd like to take a quick break and just hear a word from our sponsors. But since we don't have sponsors right now, it's just going to be us advertising.
Is this it? Is this the advertisement?
Yeah, this is the advertisement.
This hashtag ad?
Yeah, hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad.
Thanks for tuning into the podcast. We're going to take a quick break before we get into the interviews. As always, we love to hear any feedback you have, so please leave a comment or hit us up on our Discord or over social media. This is our first commercial break in the series. In the future, this space can be used to advertise upcoming tournaments, plug local streams, highlight artists, or hear a word from our sponsors. If you have a message you want to share, please contact us over Facebook or Discord. Today, we want to highlight FOODICORN. If you want to hear more from Foodie, you can follow his stream at twitch.tv/FOODICORN. He plays Valorant and hosts a great Smash lobby, perfect for sharpening your skills. You can also join his Discord. Just add FOODICORN, hashtag 0420, and ask for an invite. So, let's get back into the interviews. Welcome back. Now that you've heard from our sponsors, we can get the interview started, and Moss will open with the first question.
All right, Foodie. So what's up with all the water stuff?
Well,
The
there's-
hydration and all that.
Okay, so that's a question I get a lot. So that is more like that's more like a joke. I joined this. There was a streamer I used to watch. I'm not gonna publicly disclose his name just because as a person I don't respect him at all.
Fair.
He,
Gotcha. Okay.
That's fair.
basically,
Spill some tea.
me and a bunch. I joined their Discord. And I'd been talking in there, and I made some friends, some like online friends and everything. And they had a server they called the Hydration Gang, and they were like, "You want to join?" They were like, "We like you." So I was like, "Okay." So I joined, and it's literally like the server was just called H, and every channel was I swear to God, it was the letter H. Like people would just spam it in there. Like you would just go in, you spam H. But
What the heck?
this scumbag streamer, he basically and this isn't the reason I don't like him. I don't like him as the person for the person he is, because I actually I met him. He
Okay.
he basically kicked us all. He banned us all because he said that we were creating like a whole separate community inside his community, and he said that we were taking his viewers and stuff, his subscribers, but no one even streamed at the time in our group. And it turned into we were like, screw it, we're all just gonna leave whatever, we're gonna come to Hydration Gang, we're gonna hang out here from now on, we're gonna turn it into an actual server, and we're gonna start so we started like to get the name out. The first thing that we started doing was we'd go to random streamers on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, and we would get them to drink water, and we would like, drink water, stay hydrated, like, and the ultimate goal was always to get someone to drink so much water that they had to go to the bathroom. And I guess like being on this little quest in a way, I was like, I can't do this and then not drink water. And at the time I was having some really, really bad stomach problems. And after I cut out every other beverage from my diet and I started only drinking water, all my stomach issues went away. And so I was just like, okay, just drink water, stay hydrated. This is the way, I swear. Just only drink water.
So what started out as a joke turned out to be the truth?
Yeah, basically.
This is the internet at its finest. Just want to put that on record.
We created a community where we just spammed H, and then we just
So
H in the
essentially,
chat.
H in the chat. So essentially, there was one big group. That was one big group, and then somehow there's a subgroup, and the subgroup was on some mutiny type deal.
Well, we weren't on any mutant. The streamer, the big group, they were crazy. They were delusional. They were completely delusional.
Subgroup turns into a real thing. That's too good. This is the internet at its finest. This is 2020, folks.
Yeah, H Gang though isn't really like Eighth Gang isn't what it used to be, so at this point, like it lives on in my heart and on my stream.
This is so important. I'm so glad you asked that question, Moss.
Man.
So okay.
So let's wind it back a bit from before H Gang, before Water.
Okay.
What was your first console, and what was the first game that really inspired you to be like, I'm a gamer?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so my first console was most likely the Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
But I mean, I at the same time, because I was really young and I remember playing these games, I just don't remember or like understanding what I was actually doing at the time.
It counts.
And so we had a GameCube and an Xbox, the original Xbox. So I would say the GameCube was my real first console, because I can't remember anything from the Game Boy except deleting Mew after my mom had just got it for my older brother from GameStop.
No.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah, that
Rest
was
in peace.
I started a whole new game when I was by accident. I got so in trouble. I was concerned. I didn't know why. But the game we had a neighbor upstairs and we had Melee, and so he'd come down and we'd play Melee like all the time. Like my brothers, we'd play Melee. I think that was the first game where I was like, and I was like 4 or 5 at the time, and I was saying like this, like Dr. Mario is my main. And I don't know. I guess from there I went to Halo on Xbox, and I guess all my life I've been a very, very competitive person, and so I guess growing up it was always like I need to win. I have to win. If I'm not winning, it's almost like, I don't know if you guys have seen that one movie, Talladega Nights.
Classic. Shake and bake, baby.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby. And so, I mean, I guess I've always had that mindset, I guess. So,
Well, I mean, your Origin games, Melee, Halo, those are hella competitive, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
they
you're
are.
not first, you're last in those games.
No,
Great.
exactly, yeah.
100%.
Dude, you said 4 or 5 though when you started playing Smash. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Impressive.
Made me
dude.
sad.
Moss.
Moss, how old were you when Melee came out?
Yeah, Moss.
7th grade, I want to say. So like 12, 13 already.
Wait, that
Yeah.
game came out in 2001, correct?
I
Yes.
think so.
Oh my god, how old was
Yeah,
I?
7th grade.
2001. What the heck? I was 8. I think I was 8 or 9 when that game came out. I played
So
it.
good.
I played it for a while. I remember trying to unlock Mewtwo. Remember that? Just leaving the strat was to leave your console on for 20 hours. I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Oh, dude, just play. I think 1-stop matches
Oh yeah, that too.
for hella long.
Yeah, that too. That sounds fun. Yeah. So, am I up? Next question, right? Okay. So let's talk about. So I did want to address your stream, and I also wanted to address your commentary too, because every time I talk to you, you're really informative, man. You seem to be very passionate about not about the game, but just the mechanics of the game, how a certain character works, the matchup. Every time I have a discussion with you, Foodie, it's always informative, and you seem to be very passionate about just learning the ins and outs of the stage, the character, just the matchup. And you're very well spoken too. Like every time we do commentary, it's it's informative, it's concise. You seem to match very well with the other commentators. What drives you? Like why are you how are you so well versed in this? And I'm sure this translates to streaming too, because in the stream, when you stream, you're hosting the tournaments, you're engaging with the viewers, and you've got a pretty decent viewer base. If I'm not mistaken, I sometimes I'll see like maybe 15, 20 people, and if not, on the lowest it'll be like 5, 6. But that's a lot better than a lot of people. You must have some kind of audience just tuning in consistently. So like what? So like, is there something like drives you? Is there a reason like you like doing the streaming / the commentary? Like what kind of drives you in those directions?
Okay, first I want to say thanks for commenting on my speech, because I used to have a really bad stutter. I used to stutter a lot. So
really? Could have fooled me, dude.
So I mean, being able to talk like clearly now, it was like the day that I woke up and I was like, wow, I could talk clearly. It was an interesting day. But right. I mean, I guess this whole for me, I'm very, when it comes, like I said, I'm very competitively driven. And so before I got so into Smash, I was actually heavily into 2 different shooters. I was into Splatoon 2 and Overwatch.
Nice.
And I was kind of just the same way with those games. When I guess when I play the game, and if I see a little, like a little thing, like okay, so like with Min, I mean, like you throw out F smash with the dragon, and when you shield it, the laser will never come out, even if they input the laser. It's one of those things that, I mean, I guess it's just like, it's little things that I pick up on, and then so like with Smash, I have never gotten as competitively into a game as I have Smash, and so I actually even take notes. I have a notebook, and I've taken notes on little things that I believe I need to remember as a player, which would include things like staying patient. I mean, like when you're down a stock, I think this is a big one. A lot of people, when they're down a stock, will immediately try to rush to take the other person's stock and even it out.
Oh, that is my pet peeve.
And that is not something you want to do. You want to, because most likely that's the time when the person who is winning is going to get patient, and they're going to be winning because you're rushing them down so hard. You don't exactly know what you're doing. You just know you want the stock.
Right.
But I guess I notice a lot of things, not only in the game, but I think the biggest one is understanding players. Most players have the same mindset. It is very rare you will ever find a player that has a completely different play style than the other. Definitely there are like mix-ups in play styles, but normally there is always, you can boil it down to a specific, do I need to play patient? Do I need to play more aggressive? Do I need to play more bait and punish? Like you can really boil it down to that. And that's kind of how I like to look at like most matchups in Smash. But that's like player to player. When it comes to actually fighting a character, I feel like it's even more basic. I mean, a campy character, so Snake. I mean, as Pichu, I mean, I'm a rushdown character, and so a campy character naturally should be beating me out. But I actually have a very high win percentage on Snake players, except R-Dog. He's the only one who could just destroy me. But the reason is because I realized if I can't rush them down, why am I going to rush them down? I should just stay patient. I should let them throw out all the moves that they want to throw out. And then when they get anxious, because realistically, Snake doesn't have a lot of good approach options. He's not exactly fast. So most of what he does, I could just punish easily. So you got to think about it like that. Most of what a character is strong in is going to be one of the things they are weakest in. It's a really strange thing. Like, I mean, like Pichu puts out a ton of damage, but if you do damage to him, he takes a lot of knockback there. So like his strong suit is also his weakest. I guess it goes like that with a lot of characters. That's just kind of I guess the way I look at it.
Right. Yeah, I can so from what you just said, I can definitely see how you'd be interested just in the streaming and the commentary, because you've always got something to say. You know what I mean? And I feel like after hearing this, I just feel like you and I have a lot in common, because I feel the same. I feel the same way, dude. Like here's the thing, dude. I feel just as competitive as you. And here's the thing. I hate to lose, right? And if there's one thing I hate more than losing, it's not knowing why. I need to know why I lost.
Yeah,
I need to know why this character is doing whatever he's doing. I need to know why I'm so garbage and what I need to do to not be garbage, right? I need to study the match. And I don't know if I can best the player, but I want to at least understand why I'm being outplayed. And that's why I enjoy talking to you, because I feel like you and I are on the same page on this. Here, I'll even give you another example. So I have a lot of experience in Overwatch 2, Foodie. I do. And dude, you don't understand, bro. I used to think myself to death playing that game, because in Smash it's one-on-one, right? And you and I have talked about this before. It's one-on-one, but in Overwatch, in games like Valorant, in CS, in League of Legends, you name it, Dota, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Don't forget League. Yeah,
don't ever forget League, right? You are dependent on your teammates. So with that being said, Foodie, bro, playing Overwatch, I would think just like you, dude. Everything you just stated in Overwatch, it was tenfold, because I play Ana, right? And I'd be like, at work, I just be at work, right? And I work in silence. And all day, I just be like, I'd be thinking about the one ranked game I lost. I'd be like, oh my God, if I just saved my nade here and then our Ryan did this instead, and why did he charge? And if the other support, I would drive myself nuts, dude. And I feel like you and I would think kind of the same, and that's cool to hear. I can definitely see why your stream and then, you know, your commentary, I can see why there's a fire behind it. There's a passion behind it. So yeah, that's good to know, man. I'm glad to hear your insight.
Yeah, and when it comes to streaming, I mean, all my life, when I was younger, I mean, I said earlier, I have old YouTube channels, or an old YouTube channel. I mean, that stems from, like, I wanted to be a YouTuber when I was younger. I mean, I think that's like a big passion for a lot of kids. You see like these big YouTubers, you're like, wow, they look so cool, I want to do that. And then I got older and I was like, I want to try this out. But I mean, obviously, like, streaming was more the end thing. So I was like, I'm gonna try this instead. This seems more interesting, and I love it. It's fun. You meet a lot of interesting people.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, man. So definitely. Thanks for answering the question, dude.
Yeah.
So next question, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So if we just kind of piggybacking off of what Carl said a little bit, yeah, your insight's really, really interesting. You know, I didn't know that you like have a notebook and actually like are hella taking this seriously. So that's really cool just to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can definitely like see your chemistry on stream with like during the commentary. You know, the people that you have paired up with during the MWG streams has been really good. Like, and you give a lot of good insight during the matches too, which is fantastic.
Valuable.
Very valuable.
Yeah, a lot of the knowledge I normally take it from like other people. So like I see someone doing something and I'm like, okay, this is something. Like if I see Infamous doing something and then all of a sudden I see a Falcon on stream, oh, I saw Infamous do this, so I know Falcon can do this. Like, it's just
definitely
the best way to learn, man. Learn from the best.
Yeah, just looking at other players.
Shout outs to paying attention.
Yep.
So sticking with Smash, you know, like what's your like your best memory, I guess, in the competitive Smash scene?
My best memory, I guess,
or like your greatest accomplishment or something.
Yeah, like that. I think one of my best, like I guess the best timeline is the way I can explain it. Is Genesis 7. I went from Genesis 7. I did really well there, almost making it out of my pool. Granted, I didn't, but I in my opinion, at least, for it being my first super major, I think I did better than I think most people even expected me to going in. And then right after, I think a week or two after, I head over to Modesto for Modesto Showdown. And I got the best placing I've ever gotten, like in all of Smash, which I believe was 9th out of, it was, I want to say 89 or 91 or something like that. And
nice.
That I think was, and I could have, and I know for a fact with my last set there, I could have gone further. And so I think that little timeline where I know, like, I guess that was a perfect point in my skill. And then I guess like this COVID thing happened, and I mean now I can't really go to tournaments, which sucks, but I mean that drive is definitely still there. I'm hoping to come back to tournaments with the same power that I did leaving.
Definitely keep your skills sharp so that next round of tournaments, you know, start getting them higher placements that you're looking for.
Yeah, that was that tournament over there at Modesto. That was the one where I think it was the hypest set I ever had against Infamous, because the whole first game, everyone was popping off and you could hear Meryl in the background screaming and cussing because I had, I think I spiked Infamous twice. I killed him with S-Smash once, and in the second stock, I got a really cheeky thunder off of him. And you can, after I hit the thunder, you can hear him out there, let's effing go! And he was out. Like that right there, it just, I think even in the VOD, you can actually see me smile after that, because I thought it was so funny, and it made me feel good. It made me feel good that I coming into this community, I was able to make such good friends. I think that's my hardest Smash.
And the other cool thing about that too is like you get to see yourself progressing.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty dope set, just off of what you've like described so far. And those pop-off moments are they're hella hype, and they get you excited and help you to play better too.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, beating, just performing a certain way against notable players, it's an accomplishment regardless if you win or lose, because if you have a match where it was a bad experience before, and even if you lose the next match, but it's better and you do some hype stuff like get the spike, get the footstool, get a cheeky move off, it's a feeling of progression. And I totally feel you on that, Foodie. I'd be ecstatic too, dude. I totally get that.
Yeah. And shout outs to Merrill, man, because he makes things hype. Like,
he does. He's the hype man.
I'll never forget what I don't know if you guys Naz, and you have to remember that. Remember that when he was playing that Link and it came down to like the last game, and I think I don't remember what he did. It was some cheese, and Merrill was tilted, dude. And I respect that. When people get mad or get tilted, you can really see how important that game or this hobby, the match, etc. You can see it come out. That's why I don't want to laugh, even though I think it's funny. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to be disrespectful in any way.
Yeah.
But I respect that because I get just as mad behind the scenes too. I'll never show it. I've never really shown it like IRL, but I'm competitive too. So when people get tilted like that, I'm just like, dude, just let it out, man. I get it. We're all trying to win here. And I remember he was tilted, dude. He was mad, salty, and he was like, yo, I'm out. And,
and that's the other side of passion. Like when it really gets you and you're in the moment.
Yeah.
And, oh man.
When it gets so emotional, you're getting angry, sad, whatever.
And it comes down to the last stalk of that one little thing, and it's like you could have had it. Oh, I feel it.
It's all about, it's just human nature. When you're competitive in anything, you're that passionate about something, obviously you're going to, show something emotional, and that's okay. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone else in any other way, as long as it's not like you're not negatively, you're not expressing it verbally, like in an extremely negative way, people get mad, people get salty, and that's just, kind of comes with the territory and what we do. And I respect that. But yeah, man, shouts to the Smash community.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that, right after Genesis, everything slowed back down. I believe I was at the Modesto Monthly too. I saw some of those matches, man. You did good.
Oh yeah, you were at there was the one right after Genesis, and then there was one more after that one. You went to 4, which was that one, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I think it went to 4.
Yeah.
But now that it's in downtime, if you could train with anybody, any Smash Pro, who would you have as your training partner? Like I'm talking about the 8-hour session to level up. This is the time skip right here.
Oh, the time skip?
So this is one that I really had to think about. But I mean, I could be really cliche and go ahead and say Void because he plays Pichu and he plays Sheik. But honestly, I think the one that I would want to train with the most is Nakat.
Nakat, really?
Nakat is probably one of I got to play him at Genesis 7. So when I met Nakat at Genesis 7, it was the funniest thing. He was playing some girl in a money match, and afterwards he told her that she had to sign the $1 bill or the $5 bill, and she didn't want to. So she said that she was gonna play one more, and then he was like, all right. But he was yelling out, and he was looking for someone that had a marker so that she could sign it. And I was like, yo, I got you. And like on the spot, I knew it was Nakat. So I was like, this is the perfect moment to just talk to a pro and everything. So I go up and I give him the mark. He's like, thanks, man. And then they played the next set. And then right after, I was like, can I get a match with you? And he was like, you know what? Yeah. And like, just because I helped him out and everything. And I got to talk and play with him. And it was cool. He's a really chill dude. And he's very natural with, I feel like anyone. I feel like anyone he would talk to, he would just be himself.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing when you go to find like a training partner. You can't have somebody, you might have somebody who's like top tier, but if they can't give that information to you or give relevant feedback or even relate, you're not going to get anything out of the session except a couple L's, you know?
Yeah, basically.
But I mean, that's the other great thing about majors and super majors. The pros are right there. You just go meet them.
Yeah, the only time it sucks is when you go to a pro and they don't really acknowledge your existence at all because you're a lower level player. And I don't mean to say all pros do this, but there are definitely a select few that like even I've met where, and I don't blame them either. I mean, you're a completely random person and you're a lower level player. Like, I don't expect you to have respect for me, but I don't expect the complete, like, almost staring at me with blank eyes, ignoring me, and then just like walking away. That feels rude.
It's tough, man, being a figure in your community.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably say the same thing for, in IRL sports, or if you're a movie star, etc., right? People recognize you. There are probably times where they're probably delightful and they're like, "Hey, great to meet you." And then sometimes maybe they're just snobby, they're a-hole all the time, but maybe they're just snobby in that one moment. It's difficult, man.
Yeah,
like,
and that's why I kind of just like let it. I just let it shrug off because you never know. They could be having a really bad day. You never know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, human beings, man. But you never know. But on the other hand, they could also just be awful. But you never really know that. It's hard to tell, without really talking to someone on a regular basis. So let's just hope that if you ever had an experience that bad, maybe hopefully they're having a bad day. Because I would hate to be like, oh man, this person's super negative Nancy. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. So Wes, I think you had a very important question for Foodie.
Oh yes, I have an extremely important question that I actually just came up with about 45 minutes ago.
Okay, I see
it. So Foodie, we actually talked about this not for a long time, but briefly, right, at the tournament. And the reason why I'm asking this is because your brother loves anime, and and you are on the complete other side of the coin here, and it's amusing to me. So with that being said, and please, when you answer this question, be real. You know what I mean? It's us. We enjoy anything. We would enjoy anything you'd have to say based on anything. And just I'm curious, man. What's your issue with anime? I gotta know.
Okay, so I mean, when it comes to anime, I think the original reason I didn't like it because so there are certain, I guess you can 100% call them animes. I mean, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, people will tell me, "Oh, that's an anime." Okay, yeah, sure, it is, and I like it. It's good, and I like it. It's an anime, sure, I like that one. Okay. Or Howl's Moving Castle, I really like Howl's Moving Castle.
Okay.
But a typical anime show, like I can't watch them. I mean, I growing up, my older brother, he was really into them, and that's why my younger brother is into them as well, because he grew up kind of like with a really good relationship with him. But with me, most people, they look at their siblings, their older siblings or their family, and they almost like take after them. Like they get very, they get a huge impression off them, and they just go with whatever they're doing. But for me, it was always the opposite. So I always my mom likes like hard rock music, and I prefer pretty much the complete opposite. I prefer like softer rock. I prefer rap. I prefer like a wider range of like music genres, or like
okay.
Both my brothers like single player games. I prefer to be competitive and on multiplayer games. But I mean, now like I look at anime and I can't watch the long, like full, like 30-second scenes where it's a shot from head to toe of an anime girl just to land on like a shot of her boobs or something. And then I'm just sitting there like,
anime are you guys watching?
No, I'm just like, well, I mean, here, I don't know what anime my brothers are watching, but anytime I ever like walk in the room, I always feel like it's a scene like that, or it's some girl dressed up like she's it's an anime girl, and she's normally dressed up in like some like exposing thing, and I guess I'm just watching it, and I'm almost like what is the entertainment here? Is it the content?
The memes are real.
Is it the content, or is it the little anime girls? Like what is really entertaining here?
Okay, so let me give you some insight, right? So first, Moss, addressing your thing, Don't act like that's not a common trope, because it is.
No, I know.
100%. It's 100%. It's funny too. But let me add some insight. I know we talked briefly about this.
Dude, that's a meme about that. So I know it's real. I'm just messing.
It's funny. I'm glad you brought it up, Moss. But I'm glad you made that reference. But the thing is, foodie is just like Western TV shows, like Western cartoons, Western anything from here. Anime, just Japan in general, has their tropes in general, right? They have their cliches, they have their stereotypes, things that you would almost expect on the regular from their dramas, from their anime, from whatever it is in culture. And I've had this conversation before, but the sexual content, the suggestive content, anything explicit like that, if you're asking me, I think they see it as humorous. Like, to them, it's funny. Because here in the United States, it's weird, because we see it as, too much. We see it as excessive. We see it as indecent, right? And that's fine. That's our culture. Every country is going to do that. Every culture is going to have that. But Japan, I think it's humorous to them. So every time something like that, where you see the classic protagonist falls on their breast type deal, or like they disrobe and like everyone's nose starts bleeding, stuff like that, like it's supposed to be funny, but I can see how you would be turned off by that. And it's just I'm not gonna lie, in certain shows it kind of takes you out of the show. It really will. Like, and that's the truth. Like, if you watch if it's like sparingly, I'm not mad at it. Whatever, dude, it's cool. I personally am not super with I like to meme about it, but I'm not really into the waifu culture, the ego culture, etc. But and like some people, that's just their thing. And I'm just like, you know what, dude? Hey, you do you, man. I'm not even hating. Some people do that. But Foodie, I can totally understand why you'd be turned off by that. And dude, I respect that. But I just wanted to know, because that's so funny. That thing that you were talking about with your siblings, just like your mom and stuff. I'm kind of the same way. I totally feel that. So, yeah, man, it's good to hear your thoughts.
I don't know. I like the 30-second pan up and then we see Goku charging Kamehameha or something.
Yeah. So let's go into closing. If we start off with his most disappointing game.
My most disappointing game was 100% Anthem. I've played so many video games in my life. I've played pretty much every Pokemon game, including like the like the ROMs, the fan made ones.
The fan made games are dope.
I've played every Smash Bros. I've played so many different video games, and of all of them, Anthem disappointed me the most, because going into it, I was hyped up. They made it seem so good. And you know what? I honestly, I should have known, because I went to the EA Play, which was a live event where they were showing off the original gameplay of the game for like firsthand. And when you go behind the screen, when they're letting you out of the room, I saw that they weren't actually playing the game live for us. It was a video, and I should have known from there that it was going to be a bad game. And I didn't. I bought the $80 version. And I got into the game, and I was really upset with the fact that I was sitting there playing the story, and I felt like I was accomplishing nothing. I felt like the story wasn't going anywhere.
That's tragic, dude.
Hey, so Anthem was made by BioWare, right?
EA and BioWare, yeah.
Well, that's great, because this is going to transition perfectly into my most disappointing game, and it's Mass Effect 3. Man.
Oh no.
Mass Effect 3, it was such a great game until like the last 10 minutes. Like,
the ending.
So if you guys haven't played Mass Effect, 1, 2, and 3, everything that you do in 1 leads to 2. Like, all the choices you make in 1 affect how your game goes in 2 and affects how your game goes in 3. By the time you get to the end of 3, none of that crap matters. So,
like, you just did all that work for nothing?
Yeah, it's like you made all these choices, all these emotional like character moments and everything, and it's like none of it mattered at the end of the game, and it was just so disappointing. Like, that game was so hyped, and then you get to the last 10 minutes and just like, what the hell happened? It's so anticlimactic. It was so disappointing.
That is sad. That's tragic, dude. I'm sorry for your loss.
BioWare messing up, man.
All right, and Naj, how about you give us a game? I'm sure I'm still like kind of thinking, but if I can't, then I'll
Yeah.
throw something out there.
So, I mean, I can't think of a single game, but it's more like a genre. There's turn-based tactical games. So like Final Fantasy Tactics, Knight of Lotus, War, these were games that came out around 2001. Final Fantasy Tactics was one of my favorite games. And then A2 was pretty good. But everybody who tries to make another one is either just a really poorly put together clone or it's just terrible. And I keep buying these games hoping I'll get like another good experience. Like I'm chasing
Looking for that fix, huh?
Yeah, I'm chasing the tactics fix and nobody's doing it for me. So I mean, I'm disappointed with that whole genre.
Yeah, the whole genre is just tossing trash. No, have you tried Dissidia though?
Which one?
Dissidia?
Oh yeah, I like that one, but the grind's too real. Like,
okay.
Oh my god! Like I thought Final Fantasy was a grind. No, Final Fantasy is easy compared to that.
So
yeah, I want to play those games, but it's too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me. All right. So I guess I'm gonna have to. I can't think of a really, really, really awful game, but what I can tell you, what I'm disappointed in, it's not. Now you're gonna hate me for saying this, dude, but some of the worst times I've ever had playing video games, dude, is playing League of Legends. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Oh boy.
I'm so sad that I had to say that, but it's not the. Don't get me wrong. I'm sad that I should have a real worst game because objectively that game is pretty good. I'm not gonna.
No, as a League player, that game sucks. I feel you. I know what you mean, man.
No, it's just it's just. We have 2 minutes left, but basically, dude, that game in theory is great on paper. It's just.
I hear every time they release a character, they're busted.
It's
just riot balance.
All characters should be busted.
It's the player base, dude. That's it. I just have PTSD from.
At least Valorant's pretty balanced.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but League is just the struggle. I respect it, dude. MOBAs are cool. I respect anyone that's willing to sit there for 800 hours just to learn how one character works. If you're trying to do that, go ahead, dude. I respect that, and all love to the League community. But I'm awful at MOBAs, and I just feel disappointed every time I boot it up. And that's just me. You know what I mean? That's just me.
No, I mean, every time I logged off, I was like, am I really going to play this again tomorrow? And then I log on. Well, thank you for joining us. And you've heard a lot today. You've heard a lot about FOODICORN, our least favorite games, our most disappointments. We discussed Min, and our time's up. We want to hear from Foodie one more time. Plug your stream or just any message you want to give out to the people.
Any message.
I just want everyone to remember to drink water, stay hydrated. I mean, I guess all I got really is my stream. You can go follow me. I'm almost at 1,000. That's going to be a big milestone for me. I'm going to do a 24-hour stream for the goal. So
let's go. Good stuff,
nice. So stay on the lookout for Foodie's 24-hour stream, and be sure to tune in next week. We will have another surprise guest. All right, so that should be it, guys. We'll just go into Discord for the after.
Okay.
Peace out, guys.
All right.
Close discussion. Peace stream. Later.
Later.
Later.